What's up, YouTube? Yeah, I shaved my dome. Got that bald baby cut. So some of you have asked for a video about my favorite plugins that I use. So I thought I'd make a quick video just showing my top plugins that I use, I would say pretty much for every project at this point. So yeah. So on Ableton I have this Fave plugins shortcut that I've made. And these are kind of the main ones that I'm gonna talk about. So the first one is Antera's Auto-Tune Pro. This is my main auto-tune now. You can see I finally got the graph mode, which is kind of like the Melodyne sort of approach, if you know about that plugin. But yeah, this auto-tune's really been working out for me. I definitely recommend it if you're more serious about recording vocals. The next one down the list is Diva by UHE. This has become one of my favorite synth plugins for sure. It's just a really solid plugin for lots of cool, like kind of retro and modern sounding synths. You've got all these modifications and things. The library of sounds in Diva is also kind of like amazing. The hippie chimes is like one of my favorite presets of all time. You might even recognize it from me using it in like so many songs. It's beautiful. But yeah, just overall a great synth, and it's up there with like Serum for me as like one of the best just go-to synth plugins with just a goated stock library of sounds. Then we've got Little Altar Boy, which is a Sound Toys plugin. I didn't actually have it for the longest time, even though I really could have benefited from it. I'll show you how it works with just a sample here. Kind of sounds like shit on that, but you get the idea. It's literally just for like repitching. The formant does like different effects than the pitch, and you've got the drive and these different modes, and it's just a really cool manipulation plugin for anything but mainly vocals. And if you know my music, you know that I do a lot of vocal manipulation in my songs, so a plugin like this has been really helpful lately. Then we've got Pro Q4 from FabFilter. This is kind of just a really classic plugin that I feel like most serious producers use. If you want more from an equalizer, you'll probably want to get one of the Pro Q plugins from FabFilter. I think this is their latest one. I know Pro Q3 was really popular. But yeah, honestly, like the Ableton EQs have really served me well for many years. Like I didn't really use any external EQ plugins until getting Pro Q4, but this one has been really great, especially for vocals, because you can just be a lot more precise, and it's kind of just a better, smoother equalization than you'd get from a stock plugin, I think. The next one is kind of obvious, Serum 2. Serum 2 recently came out. Everyone was pretty hyped on it. I owned Serum 1, so I got the free upgrade, which was pretty awesome. And I'm sure anyone who had Serum 1 can relate that it was super epic to just get Serum 2 for free. I'm still learning it to kind of be better at making my own sounds with it. But yeah, like any synth with a great stock library built into it gets a pretty high rating in my opinion, because it's just, that's kind of what you want, is something that you can just get, and you know, it has its own sounds that sound really great right off the bat. So yeah, Serum 2 in my opinion is like a must-have if you're making any kind of electronic music. Next we've got the TAL Reverb 4. I know I mentioned this in my other production video, but this is probably my favorite reverb at the moment. It's definitely my favorite reverb for vocals. I've still been using it on every track for my main vocals and just vocals in general. I really didn't use any external reverb plugins besides the stock Ableton stuff for like many years until getting this one, but this one's been really great. It's also free, so you should go download it right now. The last two on the list are compressors, and the first one is this TubeTech CL1B. This is the most recent one I've gotten, and I think that it's just a really nice kind of soft compressor for stuff like synthesizers and bass and just kind of instrumental parts of the mix. It's in my favorites for now because I've really been loving it whenever I've used it, and mainly because it's a good compressor for instruments. And the next compressor I only use for vocals. So lastly here we've got the UAD LA2 compressor. Again, I know I mentioned this in my other video, but this is my favorite vocal compressor at the moment. It was recommended to me by a friend for a compressor that's really good for like specifically like pop vocals and the kind of vocals that I have in my music. You know, again, it's kind of another thing that I didn't really ever use like external plugins for compressors or anything like that before I got these, but I can see how getting something like this, you can really benefit from having something that's like more unique and more specific rather than just like Ableton stock plugins. Obviously you can use this compressor for anything, like it has presets for guitars and bass and drums and everything, but I've really only been using this one for vocals because I've just kind of made it like my go-to vocal compressor. So it's been really great for that, and I have been loving it, and I definitely recommend it for vocals, especially if they're kind of more pop-focused vocals or anything in that realm. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I didn't want to make this video too long or have the list of plugins be too long because I just thought it'd be kind of crazy to have a favorite plugins list be like 20 things long. So I wanted to keep it short, and I'm gonna put a link in the description for each one of these plugins so you can go check them out for yourself. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.